Hi. It's Tina from CNC Designs. Happy Monday. I don't know what happened a few seconds ago. I went on and I was live and then my screen went blank. Well, happy Monday to you all. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you to all of those who serve. Hello, Miss Patterson. How are you, my friend? Tonight is Magnolia Monday, and we are going to be crafting with some Magnolia stencils. Actually, one of my favorite stencils. So I'm just going to do some housekeeping really quick. I'm going to turn down the volume and try to pull us up on the page. We are going to be crafting from two places tonight. We're going to be broadcasting from CNC Designs as well as from the Crafting Network. Hello, Jen. How are you? How are you, my friend? I'm glad to see that you are doing good, Miss Patterson. Let me see if I can find us so that we can get started. For once tonight, I really don't have a plan. Just, I have a kit that I ordered a while ago, been wanting to use, so I figured I'll use it tonight and we'll see what happens. I am doing well, and thank you so much for the congrats. He's doing good. He settled into his grad school dorm and getting used to that. I believe classes start for him tomorrow. So let me see if I can find us. This is always a challenge. Thank you, Jen. So how's everybody's Monday going so far? What'd you guys do today? I stayed home, just relaxing, something that I haven't been able to do in the past couple of weeks. So I was really excited about that, believe it or not. It's funny how, you know, as you get older, it's like you crave those times when you can just relax and not have to do a whole lot. Okay, I believe I found us now. Hello, Kimberly. How are you? Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching us. If you come in and you see that red live button above my head, as always, that means you have caught me live. If you do not see that red button, that means you're catching me on replay. On either case, please stop and say hello in the comments so that I can be sure to say hello back to you. Hello, Miss Fanning. How are you, my friend? So tonight we're going to be working with one of my favorite Magnolia stencils. It is our Growing Grace stencil. I love this stencil. Did not check, honestly, to see if it's available in the store. I will check and let you know in a few minutes. But it is one of our 8.5 by 11 stencils. I absolutely adore it. I love all of the stencils that have the florals on it because you've seen me separate the florals from the text and vice versa. Tonight I am going to be using the whole stencil. I do have a kit that we're going to be working with that is designed, cut for the stencil. And it, as you can see, has the markings for the flower and the text. And it is a wood kit. I initially thought about just using the flower, but I figured I bought the kit and I'm going to use the whole kit. So we're going to base coat this. I'm going to always, as always, I do things a little bit differently. So I'm not going to just straight out just apply the stencil and be done. That would be too easy for me. So I'm going to be working with some Waverly Cashew is the color tonight. I'm hoping that that won't be too dark. If it is, I will probably add a bit of a lighter color. But I have used cashew in the past and I do like it. So I'm hoping that it comes out. Or I'm wondering, should I use my other Waverly favorite, which is a little bit more brighter? And I think we'll go with that, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. It wouldn't be a Tina Live if I didn't come ill prepared, right? So I have some plaster here. I think we're going to use plaster. And what I'll do is, if anything, if I need to darken up in some spaces, we'll just add some hints of that cashew. Okay, so I'm gonna paint over this. I'm hoping that I'll be able to still see those markings. If not, then guess what? We will be applying them where we think the words and the flower where we think it should go, right? So how's you guys' weekend? Everybody, I'm assuming, was off today. I will go back into the office tomorrow. So hopefully that will be a good day and it won't be too long. It always seems longer when I go in the office than it does when I work from home. I think it's the travel for me. So as I said, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to see the grooves for where my wood pieces go. If not, we will do our own thing, which is kind of what we do anyway, right? So I'm just base coating this with some plaster. Normally I do this kind of thing before I go live, but today I was really busy catching up with some friends on some phone calls and doing some work, filling some orders. So you get to see me paint today. So let's add a little bit of heat to this, see how that's working. I am still able to see the grooves slightly. I am going to be stamping over this, so hopefully we'll still be able to see once we stamp. And hopefully this one coat will be enough for me. You guys know I like good coverage, so I'm hoping I don't have to do two, simply because the markings are on the wood. What'd you guys eat for dinner tonight? I made some tricolor pasta, cold salad with some red onions, some olives, some mozzarella cheese, and I chowed down on that with some crackers. And it was really, really good. In fact, I think I will take another serving to work tomorrow for lunch. Hello, Stephanie Richard. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I am definitely still seeing the markings. That is our baseboard so far. And as you all know, always, I like to do my front and my back simply because I just like the piece to be finished. And if you are looking at the piece from the back, I want you to have something pretty to look at. So we will probably be applying our stamp on the front and the back. My son grew, wow, nice. I wish I was at your house. That would have gone nice with my salad. Pork chops in the salad, sounds good. I didn't cook any meat today. But now I'm looking at what you guys had and I'm feeling like I should have. Wish I would have. I'm definitely not a grill type person. Not that I don't like grilled food, but living in the city, you don't really get a chance to do that often unless you go to one of the parks or something like that. And I'm not that type that wants to be dragging all that stuff around. Although where I live, I have a terrace, and there are some people here who actually grill on their terrace. I've never done that though. My brother who lives in Georgia loves his grill. It could be Christmas Day, and you call him and he's out putting something on the grill in his yard. He lives in Georgia, so it doesn't get too cold, but there's just something about grilling in the middle of December that just doesn't quite sit right with me. Hi, Cindy Pierce. How are you? Thank you for joining us. So I'm just going to wrap this in here just in case I need it again. Yeah, it was delicious, Miss Patterson. It was really good. And I mixed it with like some Italian dressing with a little bit of herbs and spices in there. It was really good. Almost like a Greek salad. How's the weather where you guys are? Today was pretty nice. I don't know what it's going to be like tomorrow. It's been kind of hit or miss here. Like one day we'll have a really nice day, and then the next day you need a jacket and almost a sweater. Last week we had a couple of cool days. I'm hoping that tomorrow is pretty nice, so I don't have to put on too much clothes. I also find that when I leave out in the morning for work, it's often much colder than it is by the time the afternoon, lunchtime comes, or later in the afternoon. I'm always ready to take the jacket off. Oh, you're in Florida. Nice. Yeah, it was pretty nice here too today. Okay, so we've got our front and our back done. We are going to be working with one of my favorite IOD stamps. I love this stamp because it is so versatile. You can use it on so many different projects and in many different ways. And that is my Kindest Regards stamp. It's that big all over script stamp. I just love it. Let me see if you can see it. Yeah. So we're going to use that. We're going to stamp our background with that. And we may bring in, I don't know, a little bit of crackling or something. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I really didn't plan anything. I planned it in my head. So we'll see how that goes. Hi, Connie. How are you? Thank you for watching. So I'm going to ink the stamp. And I'm hoping that I got enough ink here on this pad. I want to get a nice pull. So let me just add a little bit more ink here. I wish I had a big black pad. I think I'm going to invest in one that's bigger than this. And this is archival ink, so I don't have to worry too much about that coming off. Not too, is this one black? I'm not sure. It looks like it's gray, so we're not going to use that. It'll be just my luck. I'll put it on there and it's gray ink. So we'll stick to this one because I know it's black. Hello, Miss Fagan. How are you? Thank you for joining. I'm really, really trying to get a good inking because I don't want to have to try and ink again, because often that what'll happen there is that I'll have a double blurry look, and I don't want that. So I just want to make sure I don't have ink in between the lines, because when I press, I don't want it to get on my piece. Okay, y'all, let's see. Let's put this over here. Let's get our surface back. And let me see. Okay, we're gonna just sit. Once you commit, you're committed. And if there's some white space, then my advice would be to go back and sit the stamp down again on those blank spaces. But once you put it down, don't lift it back up and try to put it back down, because you'll just get a blurry mess. Okay, so now let's lift straight up and see what we have. Pretty good, pretty good. So that's what we've got. I do see some blank spaces there, but I think I will probably not use this stamp to fill those in. I may just go back in with either some parts of another stamp, or perhaps some of our little crackle stamp that we use. So let's just dry that a little bit. And again, this is IOD's Kind Disregard stamp. It is definitely worth the investment because you can use it on so many different things in so many different ways. I just love this stamp when I want this textile. I do have others that have script in smaller font, but I like the size of this one for this piece in particular, because the real estate is pretty big. I like the bigger font. And while we have the stamp out, let's go ahead and do our back. And then we can clean it up and put it away, because I think we will be finished with it for tonight. Let's add a little bit more of my ink. I heard that if you ink pads like this and you turn them upside down, it's best. Anybody else heard that? Because I haven't really found a way to get that ink to really, really saturate the way that I want it to. Hello, Felicia. Hello, Nola. How are you? Thank you for watching. So we're going to go over once again with this. I could have used another stamp in the back. Certainly you could do the same if you want to replicate something like this. You could use another color. I am here just for inspiration. If you've watched me at all, you know that I love neutrals. So my palettes are pretty neutral most of the time. Once in a while, I'll step out of my comfort zone and do something with some color, but that's not too often, to be honest. Okay. And I definitely will be filling in those white spots for sure with some other type of stamp, just to give it some more detail. a little blurry on this one. I think I might have moved it just a tad in the top, but I think we'll be okay. We'll fix that. Let's set that there. Let's clean the stamp while we have it out. I like to clean my stamps just like this with a wipe, and then I don't have to worry about some soap and water and all those other things that other people might use. I don't have problems cleaning them this way. I've never had colors repeating or bleeding through a new color when I've cleaned my stamps this way, and it's just a lot easier for me. I noticed I didn't bring the garbage bag to the table, but we'll just set it to the side. Okay, let's get some paper towel. Hi Kiki, how are you? Hello Lori Ann, thank you for watching. I'm just whisking off some of that moisture from the wipes. And that's pretty clean. Let's set that over there to dry. Let's bring our surface back. Didn't bring a garbage bag to the table, so I'm gonna set the rest of my wood pieces here so I can use this as my garbage. And we do have a base to our piece. Not sure yet just quite which color I'm going to use for the base, so that's why I didn't paint it yet. Let's get some heat on the back of here. And you guys, if anybody is interested, we will be playing Magnolia Bingo on Friday. The cost to play bingo is just $5 per participant. Each participant will get 3 bingo cards and an opportunity to win a Magnolia package that is worth over $50, curated by myself. You'll get all kinds of things in there. You'll get some stencils, you'll get a surface, you'll get some chalk paste packets, you'll get ink packets. So it's a really nice box that will help you to experiment with Magnolia and see if it's something that you like. And you get a chance to hang out with some like-minded people and play bingo and have lots of fun. So if you think that's something you might like to do, just let me know. You can put bingo in the comments and I'll give you some more information. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do my florals. Not quite sure what I want them to look like just yet. I do know I'll probably need some masking tape. So let's get a little bit of masking tape down onto this piece of acetate here, just to hold everything in place. This is going to be probably quicker than some of my lives. Just trying to get some pieces down. Once you put this masking tape down and you lose that place, you'll be there for the rest of the evening trying to figure out where the other part of the masking tape is to be able to start it again. So I'm going to do this really quickly. Let's see if I add this here like this. Hopefully it'll sit there. Oh, gee whiz. Y'all, do you see this? I should have had some painter's tape, but I don't have a piece right now. So, gotta use what you got, right? Going to set that there. Let's add these two pieces, our words, grow and grace there. And I think my flower head, I'm going to experiment a little and use a couple of colors. I don't want it to all necessarily be so monotone. So I am gonna base coat the front with some more of our plaster, but then we're going to kind of stipple some other colors in there just to make our flower look a little more colorful. Hello, Judy Lewis. Hello, Miss Mays. How are you? Thank you for watching. So we've got some plaster down there as a base on that flower head. I think I want to do the grow and the grace. Might as well base coat those and plaster as well. And bingo will be on Zoom, so we get a chance to see each other and converse and have a great girls' evening. Hello, Judy Lewis. Yeah, let me see what other color I have around this table. I have some chalk paste colors, and we'll use some of those maybe. I also have some metallics, and I got this fun pop of blue that I was thinking maybe in the center. And just, this is what our flower looks like. So I'm not gonna paint the whole flower, but I do want it to have some color. So we'll definitely add some pops of color onto it so that when we put our stencil down, there'll be some color behind our flower. And I'm just kind of lightly dry brushing this plaster onto the stem. I am going to be outlining my flower with some black with some black chalk paste so that it mimics our writing on our surface and it all looks cohesive. Remember, this is what our surface back looks like. And we're gonna pop all of those things on top and hopefully come out with a nice project. So I'm gonna just open up a few of these chalk pastes and pop a little bit down. Got a piece stuck up there in the top that I want to get out before it drops down into my paste. off the top. Okay. So I have that. I have a little bit of almond latte, and I have the color dough. And what I'm going to do so that I don't contaminate my paste is I have a plate here. I'm going to take one of my stir sticks and just put a little dollop of paste onto the plate. And I am going to use a piece of paper towel to try and just dab some color down in there. Yeah, that's the right one. Okay, have a little bit of this dough. Hopefully it's not too thick. I might need to add a little squirt or two of water. And I'm sure you guys have seen me do this before with a paper towel. I just take and put a little bit of water, not too much. Scrunch my paper towel up. Hello, His Girl Designs. Hello, Shirley Brown. And this is gonna act almost like a dauber or a sponge of sorts with a little bit of texture to it. And that is gonna help me to add some color to this flour. And you see I'm just popping some of it off. I don't want it to overpower the flour. I just want some color in the back. So there we have that. And I'm gonna take another piece and do the same with the other paste color. So remember, we use dough chalk paste, and we're using Intense Rust. Hi Tina, how are you? And the reason why I'm drying it off is because I don't want the colors to necessarily blend. I want them to kind of sit on top of one another and mix a little, but not blend into each other. And if they're totally wet, you'll have that blending happen, and I don't want that. I like that. So I'm going to try to clean off my plate a little. Did not bring a garbage can tonight, and I've got quite a few pieces of trash. So what are you guys thinking about this so far? I love playing around with Magnolia, and like I said, I really didn't have a complete thought out plan with this. I just knew that I wanted to use this wood kit. I've had it for a while, so I figured let me go ahead and use it tonight. Not sure which color I want to make these pieces just yet. May go in with some of the Intense Rust. I do have a little bit of a metallic here. Maybe just put a dollop of those in there and see how that looks. Let me just tap off some here. I like the metallics because it gives it that little shimmer. Yeah. And now we have this pop of blue. You waiting a little bit longer, Mrs. Patterson? I want to just put a little, just because it is spring and I don't have too many colors. I don't want it to look fall-ish. So I am gonna just pop a little bit of that. And this blue is Pacific Coast by Craftsmart. It's just regular acrylic paint. I'm just gonna kind of do one of those in there. Okay, and let me see. Hello, Kathleen, how are you? Not sure which color I want these letters to be. Let's just take them off to the side for now. And we can talk about that in a minute. Okay, so that's our flower so far before the stencil. So now let's take our stencil, let's apply our flower, and then I will give some more thought to the words. Not really sure which color I want those to be yet. So you know what? Let me do this way. It might be easier for me because I definitely am not the best in getting these wood pieces lined up like this. So it might be, no, it's not gonna work. I think I should have painted the other side, y'all. Yeah. Y'all see that? I should have painted the other side. It would be a lot easier. So, okay. Live TV, live Facebook Live for y'all. We're gonna go back in and we're gonna add those colors again. Luckily that wasn't too intense because otherwise I'd be a little sad. But I think we can do that quickly. Let's do a little bit of okay. I didn't put the y'all ain't telling me that I didn't put the paint down first. So now y'all really get to see what not to do. Tonight is one of those nights. I'm still recuperating. You, that is the truth. I did not honestly realize that flower, and I should have, if I had thought about it, it definitely has a definite side, but I didn't think about it. Hi, Lori. Hi, Annie. How are you? Thank you for watching. Okay. Let's get a little dab more. Okay. Sometimes it comes out even better. too much because I don't want to mush them together. I'm not trying to blend them. I like that. Okay, now let's add a little bit of that copper again to this side. Because it gives it that shimmery kind of look. And if you guys watch me at all, you know I love that goldy shimmery kind of color. Really just kind of stands out there and pops off really nicely. So now, while we have, let's put these up. We're gonna add our blue and we're gonna paint our stems, dry brushing them a little with the rest of this plaster that's on our brush. Too bad this flower can't be seen from both sides. But we got the other side done. Thank you, Miss Fanny. Okay, so there we have that. Now we're gonna add a little bit of our blue back. Simply because, like I said, I do want it to have some springy type color in there. Okay, there we are. Now let's add a little bit of heat for good measure. Okay, now let's look at this stencil. Let me turn that over. See that I've gotten a good lay down there. I am gonna do black because I committed and did the stamping in black. So I do think it would look nice with some almond latte. That could work. What do you guys think? Almond latte or black? Hi Iris, how are you? Hello Vicky, how are you? I'm gonna do black. We're gonna see how that works. Where is my bag? Oh, here we go. You need a squeegee. I think I need a big one because I'm just doing a flower right now, so we'll do a small one. Let's see. see, let's see, let's see. How was you guys' weekend? Anybody do anything great this weekend? Anything special? A couple of amusement parks opened up here in the city this weekend. What'd you guys do this weekend? Hi, Lisa. Did I say hi to you? Hi, Tina. Okay, guys. Let's see what we have. Let me try to wipe off this squeegee a little. I'm so used to having my garbage bag over here next to me that I'm reaching for it, and I did not bring one tonight. I like it. I like it, Miss Patterson. Okay, let's just sit this right here because we're going to use those words in a second. But I want to show you that flower. That is really, really nice. You didn't do much of anything, Miss Patterson? Neither did I. So that is to go here. Here. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it just like this without even those grow and grace words. What do you guys think? Planted some plants. Oh, nice. I have some house plants that I've been saying I need to repot. I haven't gotten around to them, but I really do need to repot them because they are, you can see that they're crowded in their pots and they need more space. I gotta get around to that. So this grow and grace words are supposed to be here. Oh, we forgot to text, do the N. I'm just not sure which color I want those words to be. That is the $10,000 question for tonight. I don't know that they need to be so 3D-ish. I kind of like them single and not the 3D look. So I'm thinking I like this version better. I don't really like those 3D backings. Yeah, I definitely like that better than those huge 3D backings. We have they're meant to be almost like doubled, but I don't really like that. Like the shadow, what do you guys think? The shadow work way or single? Don't really like them. Sorry. Doubled like that. I don't know why, but for me, I guess it looks nice. I guess we could do that. Looks better when I show it up to you guys than it does when I'm looking at it downward. So I think I want to take a little bit more of this copper and maybe some of that blue and possibly put some of that onto these words. I think we do need to probably at least get some of this plaster onto it, simply because white always just makes the colors pop better. Hi, Carol T. So you might want to consider doing that, even though you're going to cover that up, but it does give the color underneath. I don't know why, but white definitely makes it pop better, and wood likes to soak up paint. So that's another reason why you might want to add that plaster on top. So that your color doesn't get drowned, so to speak, in the wood. Okay, so that was pretty quick. Let's get our dryer. Let's get some dry on these words. Okay. I love my little dabbing technique, and I think I'm gonna stay with that. You could use like a plastic bag so that you wouldn't have to use so many paper towels, but I didn't bring any plastic bags to the table, so we're gonna use what we got. So I'm gonna put a little dab of the blue, as well as a little dab of that copper. And maybe a little tap of this intense rust. So I just kind of put that in there. I got quite a bit for my taste onto that one. So I am going to wipe back a little bit. Hi, Amy. How are you? I'm going to wipe back a little bit. And there we go with that. So now I'm going to take my same makeshift paint tool. And I'm going to just kind of dab it into that copper. We're going to go back around in here. And it's picked up some of that blue, and that's fine because we definitely want some of that. It's definitely not gonna look all the same, and that's where what we're going for. We just want those colors to blend in each piece. So here's our Grace, here's our Grow, and that's our N. So now let's start to put some of this down. I don't have my wood glue here, so we're gonna try it with some hot glue. It should stay unless you are putting this outside, then I would be worried. Let's put a little bit here on this one. I believe I got this kit from my friend Laura, and I'll find the link and put it in for you guys in case you're interested in getting one. And I just love this flower. It came out so gorgeous, even though we painted the wrong side at first. Let's put another stick in here. Come on. Just add in a little bit on each of the leaves. And let me try and look. Okay, there we go. So this is what we have so far. I like it. What say you, Miss Patterson? Is it coming out okay? Hi, Mel. How are you? Thank you for watching. So guys, remember bingo is Friday. If you want to get in on our bingo game, it is only $5 per participant. Each person will get 3 boards. Y'all, did y'all see what I just did? My goodness gracious. I just put the wrong word. Miss Patterson. Tonight is a night. See, this is, I can't talk and chew gum at the same time. Did y'all see that? I tell you. I think we're gonna get it up. Yes, I really am. Oh, Lord, thank you. All right, shut up, Tina, and pay attention. That's what that is. That is the lesson behind that. Shut your mouth and pay attention. I put grace first. I guess the Lord knew I needed it, right? Ooh, I was hoping I didn't break that word. Because sometimes when you are working with these wood words and they're scripted like that and they have all those fancy edges, sometimes you'll break a piece off. So here we are. This is what we have. I really like it. We had a couple of bumps in the road, some struggles, but I like it. Of course, I'm going to add some more in these white spaces. You'll see some more things there when we post. And like I said, this piece did come with and I don't think I'm going to stencil. You can stencil. I could stencil onto here and have the black in there. I'm going to look at it for a few minutes before I do that. But this piece does have a base. And you can, I think I'm going to look at, honestly, I'm not sure if I want the base on there. I may put it up for sale in my shop, and if somebody wants the base, I'm going to paint the base. But I think it would look nice as a wall hanging or on the base. Either way, I think it's an amazing piece. There we go. So we definitely need to paint our base, but that's our front. And then this is our back. We have that lettering. It's a finished back. We're gonna add some more little surprises back there as well. But I think this is really, really nice. I love the way that blue is popping. That blue makes this really pop. And I hope it's growing on you, Miss Patton. I hope you enjoyed watching me create this. I hope you've learned something. I hope I've inspired you even through my fumbles. It teaches you to just never give up. Just keep going, because it's all going to work out in the end. And like I always say, this is your art. There is no right or wrong. Nobody can tell you you did this wrong, because it's all your creation. And I just love it when a plan comes to work. I love the way that flower, the detail with that stencil added there, just makes it look so beautiful. So I hope I've inspired you to do something creative with yourself this week. And I will be back on Friday, and we'll be playing bingo on Friday, and then I'll be live at 10 o'clock. So come and hang out with us and play bingo, and then come and go live with me and see what we come up with Friday night on Late Night Crafting. Until then, you take care of yourself, be good to yourself, and be good to others. Have a blessed night, everybody, and have a great rest of your week. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye. Take care.